So let me show you what we got here. We got the Mopar 1996 Dodge van. Trying to bring it back from sitting. I bet you this thing's been sitting 7 years. The guy I got it from his brother-in-law, who got in a little bit of trouble. He gave him some money for it. I saw it one day. I think we worked out a deal of $400. I'm sure that's what it was. Had it towed back here 3 years ago, and it's been sitting here. And if I'm not mistaken, he said it was sitting for about 3 years. It's pretty clean. Rebuilt the transmission. We went over all that. Pretty clean for a Wisconsin truck, I'll tell you that. And everything's intact. It's got 124,000 miles on it. And I think the guy bought it from the original owners. And, you know, it's got all its 124,000 mile problems and from sitting. So we're bringing it back. It sat for a long time. And we're going to start here at the fuel tank. There it is. I dropped it out. I didn't shoot a video of that because I'll show you what I did, but it was pretty self-explanatory. I disconnected the line to the fuel rail, and I turned the key on, and a little dribble came out. Told me right away that I need to change this thing right here, the sending unit. And I'm not even going to screw around. I mean, a little dribble, and you know, $70 a new one. As you can see, the squirrels and the mice have been using it as storage since it's been sitting out here behind my place. I'm going to change that. Another thing, when I was disconnecting the filler line, this came out of my hands. This is the filler plug. It goes into here. And as you can see, there's a gasket that goes on there. And I got a new gasket. We're going to put that on. Basically, guys, to pull this plug out of here, it's not too bad. It wasn't too bad for me. Sorry about that. I might have to turn that light. Oh, no, I don't. Basically, you had these. The Dodge van had 3 straps, one across the bottom from side to side, and one from front, 2 from front to back. And you drop these 2 from front to back first. You still got this one here holding it up. The J-bolt slides into here, up here, and that holds it up. So pretty much, and once I had it drained, it was pretty light, and I could drain it down. If you look here, these are the connections. You got your fuel line, you got a some kind of emissions vapor line, and the hookup for the power. And I had a little ATV lift with a battery box stacked on it. I got it almost all the way to the floor with the length. You know, I'm surprised. Dodge had a lot of length on here. So it's pretty easy to get out. I mean, it almost goes all the way to the floor, ground, without having to, you know, I've been in here where these things are like tight. You're reaching up in there and you're trying to disconnect everything, and I was pleasantly surprised. This was a pretty easy thing. So just drop your 2 straps, and then this strap in the middle. It came down super easy. And like I said, and then you got your vent line here. This snake's up in there. It's pretty self-explanatory how that comes out too. And then, but that's what concerns me and still does. We're going to put that in. I got a new gasket for it. And one other thing that happened while I was doing the motor here. Let's go over to my parts for the These were what were holding the tank front to back. Now the one that goes all the way to the side I think will be okay, but they're like these bolts that slip down in a little notch in the back of the thing. I guess I'll go over there and show you. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it. See, they slip in here, and that's what those straps go to. Okay. Well, they just flat. The threads were rusted out, and they just broke off. I broke them off because this thing looks like a carriage bolt with like a little. It's not a 45-degree bend, it's like a 30-degree bend. It's a little less. So I just went to the hardware store and I bought some new, I bought shorter carriage bolts too. These were a little long. I got 6-inch. At the end of the video, these, I think you need 7-inch, I'll tell you, but I think 6-inch will work. You know, and I'll put these up in here and they go like this. You know, so that's what I did there to fix this problem, because I could not, nobody knew what these were, and they sell like a J bolt. Most gas tanks have like a, for like this, that they were looking up in the stores. It's just a piece of threaded rod and flat rod. Well, you know, no, not threaded, smooth rod, and it's just bent like a J, you know. But this thing has that little hex on it to hold it so that it won't, so that you can tighten it up. So anyways, that's how I fix that problem. Anyway, so let me get the sending unit out. The rest of the tank drained. And I tell you what, I wouldn't doubt it isn't 7 years, because this is the worst smelling old gas I've ever smelled in an old. I've drained a lot of gas tanks in my day, and this one is that rancid, sweet smell. It is nasty. And I got to clean it off and all that. But when you see me again, the tank should be clean and the new sending unit going in. All right, bye now. Okay. I got the old fuel sending unit out, the rest of the gas out of there. There's a lot of crud down in the tank. I'm gonna have to wash that out tomorrow with water. It's dark out right now. I can't get it right now. But anyways, got it out. There's the old one. If you look at it, it's pretty grody. Pretty grody stuff. And here's the bottom. Here's the new one. These are adjustable. So there's different size tanks. There's a 27. This is a 35 gallon, I believe. And anyways, what I'll do is I'll measure this one and set the set screws on the side for this one before I drop it down in there. Let's see. This plug right here wasn't on the new one. I don't know how much more money it would have cost them to put that on there for me, but it wasn't. So I pried this off, you know, using 2 screwdrivers, you know, and I got one here and I worked it and held it up, and then I got another one around, and I was able to work that off. And as you can see, let me try and peel them apart. There's a gasket on here. And imagine if I would have tore it. I got lucky I didn't tear it, but this gasket here will be fitted in there, and then I'll probably put this plug on there, and I'll probably use wheel bearing grease on that to help it slide on. Same thing with the filler neck. I wire brushed the filler neck, and this is the new gasket. And that part goes in the tank with that lip around there. Yeah, let me get some light, some better light on that. You know, that'll go in there. And then the filler neck pushes on there. Same thing. A little bit of wheel bearing grease. And it goes almost all the way to this point. Almost all the way to that lip is where that'll be seated once it's done. Hopefully it all goes well. Here's the one that come off. So I mean, you know, Ford Mustangs have a similar thing. I saw a lot online about a Ford Mustang. This is the B2500 Dodge van. And guys, you know, wheel bearing grease and all that, but as you can see, I'm much happier that I decided to pull the tank. I've done it, and I know a lot of other guys would just put gas in it and go. But and I might have if this old pump worked, but that would have been a real, you know, disaster. I've done that before, and you go through fuel pumps seems like every 500 miles. These are interesting fuel systems though. Here's the regulator valve, and the fuel filters in the bottom of on the bottom of the sending unit. So look at all that rust on that one. Anyways, on the bottom of the sending unit, so you can't change. There's no fuel filter in this vehicle. From here, the line just runs straight to the fuel rail. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll see. So it's late tonight. I gotta flush out the tank better, and because there's quite a bit of debris in the tank, and I don't want to pull that up through the motor. All right, till tomorrow.